So, I am not going to see Captain America Brave New World because I have better things to do with my time, honestly. Not that I wish the movie any ill will, necessarily. After all, the actors need to be paid, and the guys and gals behind the cameras, and the makeup artists, etc. But I am not going to contribute to the movie's success or failure, as I simply have no interest in Marvel movies anymore, and shows for that matter, and pretty much anything that they're doing recently. Um, and this one in particular just doesn't seem to appeal to me, really. I mean, by all appearances, Brave New World looks to be a weaker, less interesting version of Captain America the Winter Soldier. One of the pretty darn good Marvel movies out there, and possibly the best. That said, my personal favorite is Doctor Strange, though I still think in many ways the Winter Soldier is a better movie? Does that make sense? Um, anyway, Brave New World does have that similar vibe to it, but it also just seems in many ways like a cash grab. Um, like like this vain attempt at recapturing some of the old magic without really being able to um, do so. I mean, it's I've been burnt way too many times by Marvel, who at this point in time seem to be unable to really commit themselves to their own established stories, themes, and genres and narratives, right? Agatha all along tried really hard to trick me into thinking that it was going to be some sort of fun occult show, maybe a little Tim Burton-y, when in actuality it kind of came across as just another confusing superhero romp with a dash of Halloween dressing for good measure. Um, I think it was the chaos magic that really saw me check out, but followed by the cast who just really could not keep up with the acting talents of Aubrey Plaza, international treasure. But as always, I'm sort of finding ways to distract myself. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate Captain Falcon American Falcon, but I am not sure how to feel about him as our sort of leading man, main character, or really how to feel with him as Captain America. While I think it was, or at least could have been, a very smart move, having him take Cap's place, I also think it's a shame to like have to call him Captain America. If that makes any sense at all, I don't think it does. But like, Falcon was a really cool character with cool traits of his own, and just giving him the full-on hand-me-downs of our best boy Steve, it just doesn't really seem all that respectful to me. To Falcon, to Steve Rogers, or for that matter, to Anthony Mackie and Chris Evans. Um, I mean, I I don't think there would have been much harm in letting Falcon be Falcon, you know? Um, I'm not gonna lie though, for this movie, Harrison Ford almost lured me in. I mean, I'm a big fan, but he also does seem in this to be maybe a little bit more like the same character he always ends up playing in these sort of like Disney action movie types, which is to say, a sort of gruff, grumbling Han Solo esque, possibly a bad guy in this. I'm not sure I even care. Um, it doesn't do the man justice. Is where I'm going with this, because I very much like Harrison Ford, and I didn't really know he could like really act until like 5 years ago or so. Because like between 1923 and Shrinking, Ford has proven himself capable of a variety of very complex emotions and these very moving performances. And I think making him some sort of random, was it Red Hulk general, president, whatever, I'm not sure I know what exactly his role is. But I just don't think it does him justice. It's the equivalent of oh, I don't know, casting the incredible Mads Mikkelsen in in a throwaway villain role instead of, making him freaking Doctor Doom. Or, for that matter, casting Mads Mikkelsen as a soon to be fridged Imperial scientist instead of a freaking Sith Lord. But I digress. Yeah, Marvel fooled me with Agatha all along, and it's not going to fool me again. Their shows and movies have been, for the past few years now, just for me at least, just worse and worse and weird. And frankly, I just can't be bothered to see if this one is going to be slightly better than the others. It's just no longer my cup of tea. I'm not really tired of superheroes necessarily, and I don't think anyone is. Those who talk about superhero fatigue aren't really paying attention to the fact that superhero movies have changed. They've become a little bit trite, a little bit drier than perhaps they once were. And if you enjoy those movies, then that's fine. It's just not my thing anymore. And if I maybe catch Brave New World on streaming, um, I could watch it, but I still have a few more interesting moving pieces of media to consume, from the ever entertaining Severance to Yellow Jackets to, okay, nothing Marvel puts out anymore will excite me personally near as much as the upcoming movie Death of a Unicorn, starring Wednesday Addams and Ant-Man. Uh, and it's a movie about a murderous unicorn. It's a horror comedy. And what, that doesn't sound like something I'd be into? Well, you're kind of right. Um, Except, judging by the trailer, it looks freaking funny, and it has this great cast and an absurd premise. And remember, dear viewer, one of my favorite movies of all time is the terrible, terrible Street Fighter of 1994, which I enjoyed infinitely more than my last 10 or so experiences with Marvel. Um, True story. So, yeah, bye.